Morning Future is currently 6:30 for 25th of August 2014. You're currently in Dev's house with DJ Flem, H-Dog, Big D, and of course, Dr. Treats. We are off to Heathrow Airport to catch a plane to Zagreb. We got into the hostel, now walking around the centre of Zagreb. We are now in... As I was saying before Harry's tumble, after reaching the airport we took a couple of buses to the swanky Mint hostel before walking back to the main bus station in order to buy tickets to get to Plitvik, and then simply explored the city, both during the day and at night, while also buying food for the day to come. Oh, chicken/egg count is at 2, bread count is at 1, shot count is at 1, 2, 3. Second day of Croatia, we are still in Zagreb on a walking tour. We are at the train station, which is there, walked up, got to around here-ish where we are now, and above is the old town where we went last night, which we decided to revisit just in time for the 12 o'clock cannon. Oh fuck! Then we came to the marketplace and then took a cable car up to the Museum of Broken Relationships, finishing off the day by eating at a restaurant where I ate squid for the first time. Third day of Croatia, we are going to get a tram to a bus station, then walked for a bit to our hostel right next to the Plitvik National Park. Great location. After a brief unpacking we explored said national park, where we started this rhyming malark. The rule was every other sentence had to rhyme with the previous. Sometimes you needed to be a little devious, though Harry was convinced that London rhymed with onion. A word according to Rhyme Zone only rhymes with onion. This moved on to talk of an apocalypse where only the 4 of us were alive. Harry, Dev and I would travel. David would stay at home in order to survive. As all good days end, we ended up shopping. Chicken count now at 4. There's just no stopping. Fourth day of Croatia, we are still at the Croatia Lakes, where we continued walking as before with a lunch break. After a couple more hours, headed to the bus stop. We're now so fit, ready to go swimming in the land of Split, where I decided to film our high card-based bed system allocation at the Crow Paradise Pink hostel accommodation, then explore the city, shop, looking for discounts. Past the number now at 1, but for the others I've lost count.
Hi Harry, 5th day of Croatia, 29th of August.
Very Roman area. Well, the Romans ruled this for a very long time and it's very narrow streets everywhere.
Then we scaled the Cathedral of St. Dominius to get this stunning view of the city. Split is the first city I've seen of its type. It has elements of both Rome and Venice, though it still retains its own character. To be honest, it reminded me of something that you would find in the original Assassin's Creed games, with its very narrow streets and buildings perfect to climb and jump across. It's as if it took us back 1,000 years. The main centre at least.
Hi David,
We decided to split up. Harry and I went kayaking and snorkeling while the other 2 went to swim at a beach. Which reminds me, throughout the trip we were playing a game that if you could put Split into a logical sentence not in the context of the city name, without the others noticing, we would score a point. I believe Devansh won in the end with 6. That night we filmed a MasterChef Amateur Croatia edition, a separate video I've made. We also went out with other travellers at the hostel, 2 Brummies, 3 Australians and an American.
7th day of Croatia, 31st of August 2014, we are at the beach.
David, Vito and Harry.
This was a complete relaxation day. All we did was eat, go to the beach and sleep.
Morning Future is the 8th day of Croatia. We are leaving Split today after we catch a bus to Dubrovnik. Now in Bosnia, eating pastry.
I'm gonna kill myself. Get the water and then kill me first.
As we arrived in Dubrovnik, we were struck with torrential rain. All we could do was wait it out, which we did, managing to get to our hostel which was in the centre of the old town. Though we all hadn't eaten since around 12, and even that was just a ham sandwich. Unfortunately the rain began again, but we just had to run straight through it to the burger place.
After being hungry for this long, I would literally eat anything, but I would probably eat this even if I wasn't hungry.
We're in Dubrovnik.
The morning was spent walking around the castle walls, observing these amazing views of both the city and the surrounding Adriatic Sea. Dubrovnik is a World Heritage Site and is completely walled, giving it that fortress look. It is after all where King's Landing in Game of Thrones is filmed. After that, we of course went shopping again, ate lunch, and then went to the War Photo Limited Museum, a museum focused on showing pictures of war, mainly focused on the Yugoslavia breakdown, Middle East conflicts, and the Congo fights. For dinner, Harry cooked sweet and sour rice with chicken, though perhaps not his best work.
Hi Teresa, it's the 10th day of Croatia, 3rd of September.
Our final day and most of it was spent playing cards. We did try and go to a modern art museum, but we thought it was free, which she unfortunately wasn't. Instead, we ate pizza, went to a sweet shop and then to the airport, flying back to Gatwick and finally a car journey back to Devs. In my last Thoughts from Places Peterhouse Boys in Austria, I discussed the wonder of gaining such good friends in a mere year, and I concur. I find it remarkable that I didn't know these three people a year ago. I had so much fun, from singing the Pina Colada song to the green is not a creative colour meme, and all of the games we played during the 10 days. On a more serious note, I also learnt a lot too. As a mathematician, I've been quite elitist, not acknowledging the value of so-called lesser professions. However, I've come to realize that for the majority of the world, survival is what drives people forward. I finished reading the Hunger Games trilogy during this trip, and I was disappointed in the ending. Nothing really happens, but in that sense, it's an accurate representation of life. There is no spectacular hero who comes and saves the day. There is war. People die, but most importantly, we move on. Croatia exists from the ashes of Yugoslavia, and because of it I'm able to observe such beauty, although as the War Photo Limited Museum shows, much more is needed to be done. See you in the near future, Drito.
Show's over.